Hey boys, I'm about to go on a good walk on the treadmill. It's raining all day and it's already late outside. It's right now it's 9:23 p.m. Bit of a weird night, but I think it'll be fun. So yeah, weird day today. Not the best day at all. If anything, if I'm being honest, it's been a bad day today. Um, it's been a pretty bad day today. But I've learned a lot. That's always what I do on bad days anyways, so yeah. Today just not productive at all, not in the right mind space, and I went back in the mental lab for some reflection. I'm adopting a lot of what David Goggins I'm adopting a lot of David Goggins' paradigm on life. It's really helping. It's helping a lot, actually. I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, if I'll start somewhere. This morning, I had a really good morning actually, but after that I literally did nothing. Like absolutely nothing. Fucking. Yeah, the mental clutter was just so much. It just overrode everything. I mean, Goggins explains how it works, so that's cool as well. I'm just gonna walk on this treadmill here. But yeah, so hopefully the audio is not too loud. Hopefully it's not too loud. And yeah, I'm aware my physique is gone horrendous, so that's why I'm on this treadmill in the first place at 9:30 p.m. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so I did this morning. I woke up on time. I put in good work. My mental was fucked though. I put in 100 cold calls this morning, which is the most I've done, so that's really good. Done the most. I don't like this angle. I don't like this shit at all. I'm just gonna suffer and just have the camera bounce like this the entire time. So yeah, I did 100 cold calls, follow up and everything. I had 2 no-shows today, so kind of sucks. But yeah, the average is good. I had like 3 sales calls show up, so it averages out. Today was just a bad day. And the most important part is that I don't know how to declutter mental clutter. So that's probably the biggest thing I've learned today. Just try to get your thoughts straight when I'm on this treadmill. Let me slow down a bit. But yeah, after I did 100 cold calls, I did nothing. I sat in bed. I was feeling like absolute shit. I didn't know what to work on. I was just thinking about everything I had to work on and not like just feeling like overwhelmed. And also having a bunch of doubt as well. And a lot of it comes from that one sales situation, which was just unlucky. I'm not gonna lie, it was just unlucky. But again, it was my mistake. So I exaggerated it too much. I put importance on it. You can say that, but I want like a deeper solution, you know? I didn't want this hocus pocus shit where it's gonna take a long time to like, you know, see the abundance and all this bullshit, right? Like I want something I can apply like now and actually work towards it, right? And then eventually I can have a stack of evidence that shows all the good beliefs. But yeah, because I'm adopting more of Hormozi and David Goggins' mindset, and I just like it more because it's just more logical. And at the same, like I'm just learning. Mainly, what I'm doing is I'm learning to take bits and pieces from different sources and actually make my own paradigm that like works for me. You know. Like I'll take the scientific shit from Charlie, and I'll take the above consciousness shit from reality transurfing, and I'll take the raw grittiness the raw logic and grittiness and shit from Hormozy and Goggins, and it's really good. But I've had to like ditch past beliefs that I thought were true. Like, I don't know, it's weird. Like I'm starting to adopt more that I just want to work and prove to myself that my beliefs and affirmations are true by just working, rather than just trying to like magically brainwash myself over time and then seeing the result. Even though that is what Charlie's saying. Charlie's actually supporting what Hormozy and Goggins are saying, but he just said it in a way to where me back then, I took it totally different, and I took it the wrong way. I took it like too much of what Charlie was saying and not enough what Hormozy or Goggins was saying. So, but yeah. So what I'm getting at here is that when I was quote unquote doing nothing this afternoon, and I wasn't doing any work. I was just on YouTube, bro. But productively, that's the important thing. Is that I've been in this cycle so many times that if I'm not able to do the work at this point, like I'm doing something to get me out that situation, you know. And this time, I think I found another mental breakthrough, like a big one. And I should probably note to myself that this journal will be extremely important to watch for the future. Because like, after this, I shouldn't have this problem anymore after this, because I've learned the lesson. Like, I'll explain. So, let me actually like, turn this fan off though, it's really loud. I don't know if I want to turn the fan off, it's just loud. The treadmill and everything. I'll talk for a bit on the seat and then I'll maybe get back. It's hard to focus, man, because I'm not in shape at all. I have to focus on walking. And these journals take a lot of thought because I'm trying to like say shit on my mind that I'm learning, and it's like, how do I not say the same thing over and over again? I was watching Goggins, and I finally found a breakthrough that I've been overlooking. That's made me feel like my life is chaotic and like hopeless and all this shit, right? I found something that Goggins said that is gonna help me work towards this problem, and this problem that I'm working towards is gonna lead me to solving another problem, which is not being consistent, like not being ruthlessly consistent, like not having full days every single day, you know, which I think is necessary if I want to hit the goals I want to hit in 5 months, if I'm being honest with you. So that's why I'm putting so much urgency on this. But when I was watching Goggins, it was an interview, and it's funny because the last time I watched this interview, I skipped through this portion because I thought it was gonna be the same cliche shit, but it wasn't, because I actually decided to watch it through, and I was like, everything he says is gonna be valuable, so I might as well not skip anything, you know. Unless it's about like some political shit or like some life shit that he's not gonna say anything, right? But when it came to like how to improve shit, there was two things. For one, it was the this is the biggest thing. It was like your mind's like a garage, and he said this perfectly. Like, this spoke to me. He was like, discipline is great, and motivation, discipline, determination, all this shit's great. But the thing that people don't talk about is that your mind's like a garage, and like if your mind is cluttered, like this garage is actually, funny enough, actually messy at the moment. So you can see, I don't know how I can see everything, but everything's cluttered, like drum set right there and shit. If it's cluttered, there's no space, right? And determination and discipline and motivation is kind of bullshit, but because I already knew about motivation. I already know the fact that you shouldn't need like just motivation to keep working. I found that out a long time ago. The real question is, how do I build like actual discipline, and like actually not just discipline, but just like how do I achieve consistency reliably and know how to get back on it, instead of just like relying on a feeling or a confidence, right? Or just like forcing yourself to do it, which is just like a blanket term that it's like really hard to concrete. make it concrete. So he was saying your mind's like a garage, and when it's cluttered, there's no space, so you can't fit the discipline in there. Like, discipline actually takes space. Like, discipline is like a boat in this garage. Like, you'd have to slide like the car or boat into this mental garage. And he was saying if your mind's cluttered, you can't fit the discipline. But if your life's organized, and by life he meant everything around you, so your environment, your values, your priorities, your tasks, your goals, everything, your entire life, if it's organized, then you can fit the discipline. And that it clicked, man, because like every time I quote unquote fall off the wagon, and that's exactly what Goggins said. It's like he was literally describing my life. I have 5 minutes left. Okay. Every time, because David Goggins said the reason why people quote unquote fall off the wagon, and I'm like, that's exactly me. The reason why I've been falling off the wagon, every time I've done it, every time I've went from having great days and then I don't have a great day, it's always some like cluttered shit in my brain. It's always like my brain feels chaotic, and if I'm speaking third person here, if my brain's chaotic, my life's chaotic, right? My life is genuinely chaotic. Like when I was having that huge rut in February, this is like a big example, but like even this week, like today, I did 100 cold calls, awesome, but I didn't do any work the entire day after that. For what, 8 hours straight, I was doing nothing. I fucking jerked off. I fucking doom scrolled. I was watching like productive shit, which actually got me to this journal and got me to learn this, which is awesome. But I didn't actually do anything, you know. I was off the wagon, right? So even little things like this, or big things like that rut I had in February, which if I don't know what I'm talking about, or anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, I had a huge rut. I was on fire last year, and don't get me wrong, it was a lot of work. It was 7 months of just like fucking focus, and that's probably the hardest I've worked in my entire life. I'm not gonna lie to you, cause strike and stuff, yeah, I did work harder, but it's a passion, you know. It's not the same as doing something for a goal that you don't want to do, or like you didn't naturally enjoy doing, right? Like business. Like I never naturally enjoyed it. I never done it before. I just knew that it was a way to making money and not having to do the other alternative, which was school and just depression, right? I might have to get walking back here again. How much time do I have? All right, 4 minutes. I'll keep that in mind for this little thing. Okay, but yeah, that period last year was the hardest I've worked ever when it came to something that just had to be done and to hit a goal, right? It was like the hardest work environment, and I worked the hardest. So I did that, and then December came around, or I should say January, because shit hit the fan on January. From January to the 1st of March, roughly, I just wasn't working. And the correlation I'm making is that during that entire time where I wasn't working, like my mind was ultra cluttered. So I had this entire scam situation happen. A partner got scammed that I was working with to make some passive income, and it was working. But the guy running the scheme was just decided to be a scammer for quick money, obviously. And yeah, like that shit took up like 40% of my brain, like garage. Like it was just in there. It was like mental real estate, as people call it, right? That's the perfect way to describe it. Like your brain is a garage, but like the term mental real estate is the same thing. So if you want to make it make sense, you could say your mind is like a real estate property, and the shit taking for real estate is just taking up space and like being garbage, right? Not providing value. So it all makes sense now, because and every single time I feel the most resistance is when my mind is the most cluttered, right? The least clarity on my purpose, the least clarity on what I have to do to fulfill that purpose. I think it's actually those two things. It's what you want and how you're gonna get it, right? That's the two things that you need to figure out. If you're clear on what you want and you're clear on how you're gonna get it, like theoretically there should be no chaos, right? And obviously those are big topics. So like what you want is your purpose, your vision, your lifestyle, your health, everything that you want to have, every domain about your life that you want to have. And then how you get it is like, okay, what mindset do I have to be? What actions do I have to take? How long is it going to take? What environment do I have to be in? What friends do I have to talk to? What things do I have to learn to achieve that, right? These are two things, and they sound simple, but there's a bunch that goes under that. And so it's really easy to like clutter your mind with other shit, especially your current self, because your current self is a whole different beast. Your current self is the one giving you doubt and the very much the unproductive part of yourself, just because fundamentally, if you're trying to hit a goal, you're becoming a different person. So your brain will, your current self, like your current identity or your past identity, will come into that, and it'll be unproductive, and that's like mental clutter. So yeah, I basically got to clear out the garage. The only advice Goggins gave in terms of doing that is meditation. So I guess I'll have to meditate more, I guess, just out of just like blatant copying him. But I'll figure out some ways. Like right now, today, and it's funny because I was kind of on the right track, because like before watching that video, I told myself like my priorities are to list my priorities. So I was gonna list all the things I had to do in a week, collectively, like to do in a week. Like basically, if I have a huge checklist every week that refills, I had to make that, right? And then I had to make priorities on top of that to prioritize which ones to do. And it was basically organization. So I think I was on the right track. And I think I've been on the right track. I just, for one, I haven't got that confirmation. And I honestly haven't got someone to describe it so well as David Goggins did in that interview. Which that interview was with Chris Williamson, I think it was. He's like, doesn't have a lot of hair. He's blonde, he's jocked. They sit on a table facing each other with no like curtain in the background. It's just like it's like a room. But yeah. The second thing that I've learned is I've gotten a ton of confirmation on this whole like building belief. So I think I've finally like learned more about the caveat with belief and action. So that's the, I'm not gonna get into it because I would just confuse myself, and it's not that deep really. The main thing is the first thing I said. But yeah, so I mean, I do think my theory, right, for actually taking action is I think my purpose is dialed in, honestly, especially since I'm seeing friends more now, reminding me of like what could be the future. So I do think my purpose and my why and what I want is dialed in. That said though, my why is dialed in, however, making it more specific is not. And really, like, the only thing I see right now that's not dialed in at all is like my actual tangible goals. Because I do believe that if you really have it dialed in, you should be thinking about those numbers all day. Like, for example, I should be thinking about 10K a month profit, losing 40 pounds. Those are the two statements I should be thinking about all day, right? But I just don't have it dialed in. Right now, I'm just like, quote unquote, growing the agency and trying to lose weight, but nothing's happening because I have like no clear destination, for whatever reason. So that's a problem. And then I've still been planning on cleaning up my routine. So to do that, again, I just list all the things that need to happen in a week. So like X amount of work in this department, X amount of work in that department, doing this every day, doing that every day. And then making it a priority list so I know which is more important. And then fitting it in a weekly schedule that I make preemptively. And so by then, I could run it, right? I could do that for 2 weeks, see what happens. If it works, I fucking keep doing it. If something is flawed, like I haven't spent enough time on like service delivery or something that needs to happen, then I edit it, I change it, feedback. The other big thing I wanna say is that I think I think probably the biggest portion of cleaning my mind up and cleaning my garage up so I could fit in like discipline and everything like that will actually like have me seeing that consistency I haven't seen since last year. I think what'll have me doing that is removing shit rather than adding shit. So I'll have my list to do, I'll have the priorities on top of that layered on top, and then I'll have the schedule. But on top of that, I need things to remove. Like I need to remove shit that I'm doing, you know? Or shit that I'm even consuming, you know? Just have a list of shit that I can't do anymore, you know? Like spend like stuff like I have to see myself TPAC it every day, you know? Because that's another reason why I felt really bad this Monday. Because nothing tragic happened recently, you know? Other than the fact that I have one client left and, you know, that's a little bit scary. But, like, I wouldn't have gone downhill so much mentally in, like, one day and missed an entire half a day if I was honing on my mindset shit more frequently. Just because I went out for 2 days, right? Just because I celebrated sister's birthday and then I went to see family for the morning, even though I had time in the morning. And then the next day I went to see Jacob and also the family. And I just didn't do that much mindset shit, and it came back to bite me. So it's just cleaning shit up, you know, because by no means am I in a rut, or am I not working, or am I not being productive. I just need to hit a higher threshold. Like, I need to do serious things in 5 months here. Honestly, less than that, 4 months, 4 to 5 months. And I need to hit a threshold of productivity that I'm hitting every single day to feel good about that I'm gonna hit it, you know? And just to be like transparent, or just to be like, just so I know like generally like what I need to do. I just haven't like really made it crystal clear, like exactly what I need to do at this time, right? So for one, I need to save $10,000 after all my expenses by the time that strike starts, you know? And that quote unquote time strike starts, it could be September, October, even November, you know, if we drag it on. So that's something I gotta figure out, you know? Another thing I really wanna do is I wanna lose, how many pounds is it? 35? Because I'm assuming I weigh 215 right now, right? Which, that's high, you know? 15 pounds just to get back to 200, that's pretty high. But, I mean, yeah, I want to lose 35 pounds, right? Because that'll get me to 180. That would be the lightest I've ever been in probably more than 4 years now. Actually, more than that, probably. I think that'll be the lightest I don't know. Nah. That'll be the lightest I've been in like 3-ish years. I believe it's 3-ish years. That'd be crazy. You know, like goals like that. I need to just like clean everything up. Which it's not like I'm gonna die, but it is, I have to do this tonight or as soon as possible. I think I'll do it tonight because right now it's only 9:47 and my bedtime is 11:20. Because I wake up at 7:20 now. I made my schedule that much better, but yeah, I'm gonna revamp it again. And the beautiful thing is that tomorrow morning, I'm gonna print everything out. So it'll be great. I'm gonna revamp my life, right? It's all about the little iterations and improvement. And then from there, I think I'll be dialed in, man. Cause like, my why is pretty dialed in. And recently it's just about doing the work, you know? Just like, cause the big bad belief I had is that when it comes to doing the work, the only thing you needed is a why. Which, I mean, it's not completely wrong, right? But I was missing something else, right? And even though I had a why, and even though I had a huge drive, like, you still need to, like, do things correctly so you can actually do the work every day, all day. That's about it, though. I think I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna finish this little walk, I guess, and then I'll get to work. I'll get to a little bit of work. I'm gonna have a good sleep, and I think tomorrow I don't have that many calls tomorrow because I somehow only booked one appointment in 100 calls, which, don't even ask me what happened. I had like 4 resignations, so I had 8 pitches, 4 resignations, 1 meeting booked. So a bit unfortunate that how many people are not booking a meeting that are interested. But you know, volume to get select, so that's why I'm doing so much volume. But yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna, since I don't have too many calls tomorrow, I'm probably just gonna really focus on like getting my mind back in like the right state, in a very clear state. But I'll also have time to put in the work, you know. I could definitely just rip 100 cold calls in the morning again. It'll be fine. I'm actually gonna stop this walk right now. So that's about it. That's about it, you know. And David Goggins, real quick before I leave, another thing David Goggins said that was like kind of weird, because this entire time I did think that I had to like not be proud of myself in the past, because, you know, current self and all that shit. But David Goggins laid out a caveat, right? Again, it's all caveats, you know. Like most of the information, I feel like in general, this might be false, but from what I've seen, I believe most of the information that is missed and is the reason why people are like not doing as well as they should be, is because they don't understand the caveats to certain things that they're not even aware of. Like, I just discovered this today. Like, David Goggins is like, you need to be proud of yourself in the past, because yourself in the past has built so much like proof that you've worked hard and you're able to do this XYZ. Charlie Morgan says the opposite, but both are right, honestly. I just didn't see both sides of the coin. I only saw Charlie Morgan's side, which is really effective. But again, like, it was hard to build belief, because like I've never hit this goal before. This is my first business. Things are not going well at all. Like I'm like, you know, I'm not seeing the feedback yet, right? So it's difficult during these times, and I don't want to get into a negative feedback loop, because that'll be even worse, because I'm just gonna start regressing. So then I listen to Goggins, and I'm like, okay, that makes more sense, and it'll actually help me more, you know, listening to that than to not know that. So yeah, I'm a bit overwhelmed right now. When I make these journals, I get kind of overwhelmed because I'm just thinking so much. My mind's racing. It feels like really weird. It feels like an overthink party, you know, just an overthinking party. I'm gonna take another shower, clean myself, get some water, go to sleep. And I'll actually tonight I'm gonna actually try to just like think productive thoughts before I go to sleep, because another piece of advice that I've seen a couple days ago is that you do not want any negative shit in the last 5 minutes before you go to sleep, because that's what you'll dream about, and therefore that's what you'll think about the next day, and it'll just fuck you over, which is very true. And I've realized it. I've been conscious about it. All right, a lot of information. I'll see you guys later. I'm overwhelmed right now. Bye.